right, I'll call the school committee meeting of September 10, 2025 to order. Superintendent Ray, would you call the roll?
Michelle.
Here.
Lisa.
Here.
Marie.
Here.
Randy.
Here.
Mayor Groman.
Here.
John.
Here.
Megan.
Here.
Chad.
Here.
And our students are probably at practice and on their way.
Students are at practice are on their way. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Adjustments to the agenda, I don't have any. Take a motion for approval of last meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by John, seconded by Marie. Any discussion or corrections? Okay, all those in favor? And that is unanimous. I'll read through the consent agenda and then take a motion. If that would be okay. Nominations, we have Brett Branscombe, BMS teacher. Appointments, we have a series of stipend approvals. Resignations, we have Dave Stebbins, Michelle Bracken, and Stacy Luscombe.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by John, seconded by Marie. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? And that is unanimous. Over to Jeremy for the superintendent's report.
All right. We are a couple of years in. Feels like a couple of years
Feels
in.
like it.
On certain days. We're a couple of days in. Maybe it seems like a year already. I don't know for some, but seems like we're off to a pretty good start. Want to really reach out to her and thank. There's always a lot of people to thank, but transportation tends to be the most difficult piece of the beginning of the school year. And just want to thank the bus drivers for their efforts on all of those. Traffic's always tough. Construction's always tough. New kids, new faces, new daycare drop-offs, all of those pieces can really cause some challenges, and they navigate that very well. So thank you to that department. As you know, over the years, our fall cross-country for elementary athletics continues to grow and grow. And I know that we have the shoe jamboree coming up very soon, but it's looking like between the tri-districts and St. James involved in that we could almost be pushing 300 athletes this year.
Nice.
So we actually starting to have to think about our meets at BIS or at Burns School even going to be able to be something, because when you have two parents coming from work and they meet up at that after-school events, we don't necessarily have parking for all of those pieces. John, do you want me to cover a couple of things that we talked about in finance? Is that fine? At finance today, this was more informational for us, but a couple of the major things that we need to consider coming up is I will be putting in some applications for 3 revolving renovation projects that will come before you that you have to approve before I sent the application in. But I'll be working on, there's a little bit of asbestos abatement that could still be done at the vocational center that we'll put in for, and then looking to try to provide ADA upgrades for our bathrooms at BIS and BPS. When we talk about construction at the primary school, the contractors feel like they picked up a little bit of time that was delayed because really we've had no rain, and the weather wasn't super hot either, so it was pretty good working conditions. If we can continue in that piece, they're thinking early March is the goal, but as we know, things can slide one way or the other, and typically some supply chain issues. The other piece that we talked about we're working on, or would like to continue to work on, is we're going to do a little bit of a kind of dive into whether a child care facility for school staff would be something that we could house within our facilities at BIS, possibly in the future. We know we have pre-K there now, and we're just going to do a little bit of work about the feasibility for that and seeing if that is an offering we would be able to put out for staff. Obviously, not a free offering, but trying to think of that break-even point, because we know that childcare is just such a hard thing for people and such a rising cost. And then you have educators who are teaching during the school year, and then you're home with your kiddos, but you're paying for slots. That's always a tough thing, is paying for something that you're not using. And so seeing if there's, a breakdown mathematically that would work for us to offer that up to first school employees, and then also, if depending on if you had openings, whether that would be something city employees could take advantage of. I suspect the amount of people that we would have interest in that might be greater than what we'd have for spots available. So there'd be a lot to figure out, but seeing something like a benefit that we could try to bring for our employees.
This one.
That's exciting, Jeremy. I think the childcare possibilities, I'm sure, will generate a lot of interest. Questions for Superintendent Gray? That's good. I hope that you're able to keep driving with that, and that's really good news about the construction at BPS. It's been looking great. Went with the Apex bike bus this morning, right by there this morning, and it was cool to see the crew hard at work. Cordelia, welcome. How was practice? Okay. You did. Field hockey team is amazing. Thank you.
Ready for TA tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Ready for TA tomorrow? Yes, good answer. I like that. Are you ready to give a report, or am I putting you on the spot too much? You can
No.
certainly grab it later in the agenda if you'd rather.
Okay. Since we've last met, we've welcomed back the class of 2026 for their final year of school and welcomed the class of 2038 to kindergarten. The past couple of weeks at the high school have been busy. Classes are in full swing, including the COT, and the regular season for high school athletics has begun. The first golf matches of the 2025-2026 season were on Tuesday and Thursday. On Wednesday, the cross-country team had its first meet. Thursday, the football team had its home opener at Waterhouse Field with good student attendance, as well as field hockey had its home opener on Friday night with excellent student attendance. This week, girls soccer had its home opener Monday, and the boys soccer team and volleyball opened on Tuesday. Fall play auditions are being held this week for Antigone, and the marching band has their home show on Saturday. It's a busy week with football, boys and girls soccer, and volleyball at home. If you're interested in supporting the Tiger teams, you can check the schedule on biddefordschools.me and click athletics. Middle school athletics have begun practicing, and the team will start having games next week. BHS held its club fair, introducing students to the clubs available for grades 8 to 12. Anyone who missed it can ask their advisor for more information. The class of 27 is currently planning homecoming, and the student council is planning the week's festivities. The first few weeks of the 2025-26 school year have gone well, and I'm looking forward to what the rest of the year will bring.
Super impressive, Cordelia. Ms. Kane, thanks for having that ready on the fly. Great report. It's exciting to hear about all those activities. Any questions for Cordelia? Okay, nicely done. Great. Going to committee reports. Is there one for policy, Michelle? And anybody else with finance who did? And I know evaluations. It looks like, Marie, we have a report.
We do.
Okay, proceed.
I gave everyone a little mini packet, just highlighting the various dates that we'll be following in the CBIR policy. So if everyone could go to their packet, I highlighted them for you. This week I will be electronically sending out the evaluation, and it would need to be completed by the 24th of September. And if you all remember, we changed those dates so that this board could complete the evaluation prior to this year's election in November. And then we'll be following up, as stated in the CBIR document, with an executive session on October 8th, to be followed with another executive session on the 22nd, and goal setting for November 12th. Let's see, I made a few notes here. When you're doing this, I attached the CBI document to this as well, just a few reminders in there. And I would be mindful if all the board members could especially pay attention to section E, item number 2, item number 3, item number 4, and item number 5, just so that you have a reminder as to what you should be looking to put into a comment section. So just, pay attention to those particular items as you complete this. The other thing is, last year we met with our collaborating school districts, and it does state in the CBI that that's something we should also be doing. So will we be looking to do that, Mr. Ray, again this year? Can we set that up in conjunction with those dates, one with Dayton and one with Saco? And also just a reminder to focus in, since we just really kind of finished up this process, we were a little bit behind the 8 ball last year, so that we can stay on schedule. Just focus your comments from where we finished from January on, from January to present. Does that make sense? All right. And again, just a reminder that in the electronic section, and if everyone could do it electronically, and then when you hit send, it'll come back to me and it'll compile for us, and then we'll meet and review that data. But there is, a section, if any, if there was a does not meet, or the section there, you can put a comment that qualifies a comment, but there's also a comment section where you can also, hit up the high points and the strengths of our superintendent as well. So there are 2 comment sections for your use, and to use data and evidence in your commenting as well. So that's all I have right now, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you for all your hard work on that, Marie. Questions for Marie? Michelle?
Just looking at this, just want to double check. So it looks like we'll have an executive session on September 24th to meet, and then October 22nd to review and discuss, and then on the 12th to set goals.
So it's basically just about B through E. There's, and some,
So B and C as well.
some of these might be short, some of these might be longer, but each of these follows up, if you look at the CBI document, with us to meet and discuss. Okay? So if we can make sure that hits the agenda for each of those meetings coming up.
Excellent, good questions, thank you. Did I miss any other committees that have reports? Well, that's first, thank you. Great, we don't have any old business, so now we have a chance for a presentation, beginning of the year principal report. And do you want to start us off with that, Jeremy, or where do we stand?
If you remember last spring, at the end of the school year, we talked about, at the end of the year, we talked about the closing, we talked about some summer work, we talked about goals for the fall, and we've asked principals to come back with an update on those situations, and so we'll get a chance to go through those, and they can share those with the board. So I'll move this flag because I can't look through this.
Thanks, Jeremy. Well, Lindsay and Megan, you look like you're first. This is exciting. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for all you do. This is much appreciated. I think Doug will get you going with that mic. I assume it's probably on.
Opening days at BPS have been wonderful. I think there's a really vibrant energy in the building. Really easy to be vibrant with so many happy children running through the hallways. The connection that has been established across like the JFK BPS joining has been really wonderful. The sense of collegiality, I think, is it's felt by a lot of people. I think our welcoming back days have been part of that. We also established last year a school-wide events committee. That committee met today, and we're looking at establishing events that allow for continuity, not only within our building for the grade levels to connect, but also partnering with BIS in particular to bring together number one, ease for families to remember Spirit Days kind of go across buildings. It's easier to remember if it's every Wednesday early release that we have a Spirit Day, Tiger Pride Friday. That sort of unity, I think, is really great for this staff. They have enthusiastically welcomed back every Friday what they call the Friday Mug Club, where staff join in the lobby around 7 a.m. and just have their first cup of coffee together. Really starts out with great momentum for welcoming kids in the door as they're coming. Everyone is there. So a lot of wonderful things. Kids very excited to be back in the building. A lot of great energy. I've been into classrooms reading with kids, and it's just great. In terms of summer projects, the curriculum leadership cohort, which consists of teachers from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade, came together and did work to prepare their teaching colleagues for how to roll out our new curricular resources. Those teams met all throughout the summer and have committed to represent their grade levels on the curriculum development teams. So that has really set us forward with great momentum. We have 2 teachers at each grade level that are really ready to jumpstart and kind of prepare their teaching colleagues of, hey, lesson 1, here's what I noticed when you go to teach it tomorrow, right? So they're taking that kind of a leadership role to offer perspective about what is manageable to expect of students in our first 7 days of school, right? So that has been great. Along with those goals, I've spoken before about the new schedule at BPS that allows for designated intervention time, win time for students, the what I need time. And within that, we've established a school-wide goal that by November 1st, we will have had opportunities to meet with interventionists, classroom teachers, looked at our beginning data sources that we have after getting to know the kids, and have a goal at that point that we can confidently say we've got a system in place where we know why kids are working with the people that they're working with during that win time. And then again, a goal with realistic expectations of staff coming in feeling excited but understandably overwhelmed with 2 new resources that we're kind of taking, how are you feeling about this program and these resources at this point in time? Can we compare that to just say, we've done a lot of work, we feel proud of it. These are also our next steps to kind of digest little by little, understandably. Those are my highlights.
Thanks, Ms. Rager. Thanks for all you're doing. Any questions? Don't go yet. Marie.
I love what I'm seeing. I love the leadership, mentoring aspect of all of that. I also like the fact that we're going to look to group our students by, skills and needs levels so that we're bringing everybody along, growing everybody where they're at. I like the coffee idea in the morning on Fridays. It's a nice way, especially for new and young staff. And I really like the coordinated Spirit Days with BIS as well, just combining those 2 buildings together and things that they're doing. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Megan.
The last time this board kind of heard about the programming at BPS, the kids were grouped by houses for like recess and lunch and all those pieces. When I took my granddaughter on a tour, which was great, by the way, there was a lot of positive energy in there already that day. You had said, like, you're going to have lunch with other kindergartners. So So is that, like, are there times now where kindergartners are with kindergartners, even
Yes.
though? So I guess I just wanted to kind of like update the board about that, because that
Sure.
was something that we were
Yeah,
very curious about.
absolutely. Again, we had a scheduling committee that came together, so teachers had input, our parent council had input. So we've created a schedule where teams of 5, so 5 kindergarten classrooms and so on, have a shared lunch and recess together. Their academic times overlap with at least one other grade level, so you still have an opportunity to work cross classrooms, but you also have that opportunity within that win time. In addition to that, we have a period of time at the end of the day, which once we get dismissal a little bit more or less chaotic, we'll have increased time at the end of the day that we're calling some sort of really cute acronym about roaring across classrooms, where like any classroom, roar and explore. Thank you, that's what it was. Where within the pods that they're in, we're hoping to see like, oh, this teacher really wants to do this craft. Anyone interested, come here while this teacher is doing this activity. Academic focus for book buddies can happen during that time, so there are pockets of time for that as well. Yeah. Yep. Good.
Perfect. Nice job. Thank you.
you.
Lindsay?
Good evening. Megan stole my thunder a little, however. I'll chime in with the other things that are going a little bit differently than BPS. We also had a very strong start at the intermediate school. We got our 3rd and 4th grade open house underway and welcomed those students. And then 5 days later, we welcomed pre-K and had a separate open house for them. So we're hearing a lot of, look at the littles in the hallway at BIS now. And today I heard in the hallway, look at the bigs. So very interesting to hear our 3rd and 4th graders referred to as the bigs, but I guess we are in this situation. Open house went very well for both and was very well attended. We set up scavenger hunts for pre-K and 3rd and 4th grade separately, and they were able to go around the building and see different things. And pre-K, we made sure to end on the playground because we weren't sure if we were going to get them back in after. So that went very smoothly. Can't say enough about the hard work that the staff has done. Over the summer, we were able to complete all of our updates for our scope and sequence and realigned that to the interreading curriculum and the math and focus updated curriculum. Our goals for this year is to continue to check and adjust that work. So we had the interreading curriculum last year and have lots of common resources that we've gotten together and staff have worked on through professional development time last year. We'll be continuing to check and adjust and make sure that all teachers are on the same page and have time to do that. More of a focus this year on math and focus for us. Focus, that came up a lot in that sentence. And we'll be going through those steps so that we can align that as well. Again, Megan shared that we're doing the common spirit days and working on a lot of those things together this year.
Nice work. Questions? Marie?
I toured with Jeremy the other day, the little pre-K area, and that was just a great turnaround from everything going on, because you have the most diverse group of students in the building, and it was good to see that the playground was up and running and ready for, you know, those little kiddos, and how the space is being utilized. And I'm just so happy to see that we're focusing in on that consistency in our math and our reading curriculum. I'm just really excited and hoping that in the years to come that we're going to see some improved scores here with that kind of consistency and continuity across our grade levels. So, nice job.
Well said. Thank you. Okay. Keep going in order, Mr. Dakota, and I'll highlight in the agenda. I think Mandy has got this presentation linked if anyone wants to pull it up on their machine. Yeah, it just came up. Thank you. On the fly. Scott.
Good afternoon. So a wonderful start at Biddeford Middle School as well. Very large group of students this year at the middle school. Where, of course, we're 5th, 6th, 7th grade. We've really done a nice job, I think, finally making that true adjustment to being a 5th, 6th, 7th grade. But we're off to a wonderful start. We too had a very successful open house. We don't track numbers. I think it would be interesting if we did, because the hallways were really packed. We do our open house the very first night, the first Monday that we return with staff. And so it's just awesome to see so many smiling faces and people excited and encouraged to come back to school. Summer projects, our staff at the middle school last year identified some areas that we really thought we needed to spend some time on to develop and grow as a school. So the big project for us this summer was the development of a staff advisory council. We were successfully able to do that, and we met on 3 separate occasions, bleeding into some work that we're going to accomplish throughout the course of the year. So that was a major accomplishment in getting that group off the ground, and I'm thankful to that group for really trying to, figure out ways that we can improve as a school and to move forward. The second key item, of course, is to go along with Lindsay's point, is our 5th grade staff did participate in that into reading training as well, for reading, and math and focus training for our 5th grade. So likewise, our big goal at the middle school this year is to really try to find a way to improve our literacy scores, both with our ML students and all of our students. We're really feeling like that's the next step for us to take in moving forward academically.
Questions for Scott? Marie?
So Scott, last year I met with you when we were doing the graduation and promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just share with us when those meeting dates will be on a monthly basis and when they'll start? Because I really enjoyed going to that, and I would like to attend more of those.
Beautiful. Yeah, so we will have, actually at the middle school, we're going to start first with our parent advisory council. And we usually kick that off the ground towards the end of September and early October. That'll be our first sort of invitation to bring in some folks along those lines. As far as promotion and that particular committee, Marie, I think there's a group of us that will need to just convene and figure out what's the right time to get together to make that particular thing happen.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Martha?
Hello. Again, great start at Biddeford High School. Everyone else has talked about their numbers. So we, as of this morning, had 853 students at Biddeford High School. We've had 51 new students register. So we have looked at our student ambassador program, and we've I think I talked to you about it last year, where we were welcoming our new ML students and had a 2-day orientation for them. We've expanded that to all new students. So on our first day back for 8th and 9th graders, you'll see at the bottom there, we had 400 of them learning their class dances. We also welcomed in our new 10th through 12th graders and offered them an optional tour and some time in the building so they could get their feet wet. We have over 60 peer mentors who led that orientation for our students on the bottom there. An overarching theme this year for both our building goals and that I shared with students is unity and belonging. So last week we kicked off with our clubs and activities fair, which Cordelia alluded to, and we had over 250 students sign up for clubs and activities, which is awesome. Those meetings started this week. We have over 250 student athletes that are participating. So really we're trying to encourage kids to get involved in something. We have 5 or 6 new clubs this year that students have decided they would really like, and they found adult advisors to help run those, which is great. One of our big initiatives is every 10 years we get reaccredited by the NIAS committee, and today actually our NIAS liaison from the actual organization came and spent the afternoon with us. So met with building leadership first, met with our full faculty, and then met with our steering committee to really talk us through the process and what that looks like. He was very impressed with how organized we were and how far ahead of the process we already are, which is really nice to hear. And we will be working, in the upcoming months, sending some of our steering committee members to visits of other schools that hadn't been, and then using our October and November days to really dive into that work. Some of our goals are to host some cross-disciplinary meetings, really looking at our data and protocols to make sure that we're improving and looking at student progress, ensuring that our staff is contributing. Again, part of that unity piece is working with our staff in supporting each other, supporting families and students, but looking at the survey data from the spring that the staff provided as to where we can improve some of that unification work. So doing that, we continue to meet with our parent council. Ours is the PI group, Partners in Education, and that's parents, staff, students, and board members, and we'll have that. Those are the first Monday of every month. We'll start in October at 6:30 p.m. in the Media Center. And we've just been off to a great start. We wait until after ad drop to do our open house, so we have our open house next Thursday, the 18th. In addition, we have the Biddeford Rising event, which is a district-wide event that we'll be hosting here. It's previously been hosted at the middle school. We'll be hosting that here at Biddeford High School next Thursday night, when we have I think over 30 community partners coming to help showcase the work that they do in the community and how they can help support our families. So.
Questions for Ms. Jakes? Marie?
So Martha, last year, Heather spoke to us about the development and the implementation of the study skills program for the 8th grade. Would it be possible throughout the year to get an update as to some of the data you may be getting from the implementation of those skills with that particular group of students?
Absolutely. Yep, that's something that we are tracking. It's we're doing it in our achievement center as well as a mandatory elective for all, right, kind of contradictory for all 8th graders, and really looking at executive functioning and study skills, and that's been off to a great start. The kids are loving it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Great. Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Danielle?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I mimic everybody when it was the beginning of the year has been great. For me, it's been even better because I have returning students, so they know who I am. I know who they are when they walk in the door, so that's been great. We have 10 new students. We have 1 returning from out of district, who actually is amazing. We have 3 juniors who are going to COT and 1 senior, so that's pretty cool for us to have that collaboration with COT. And really just continuing doing the relationship building in our program. That was a huge thing that we wanted to focus on this summer. We really focused on SEL in the beginning of our 2 days. I know some of you probably know, but in the first 2 days of APC, we focus a lot on relationship building and doing different types of activities. So we did that again this year with 2 days of that, where students come in, we do different activities with them, we kind of do some bonding with the teachers, bonding with each student, trying to teach them that even they have differences, they are still the same people who are coming. We're all at APC to graduate. And then another thought of ours was to kind of focus more in aligning with Maplewood, kind of having those PDs together. We actually had our first PD with them today, just so that the transition and for APC staff to kind of feel part of the big BHS district, which was cool. And for some of our goals, which was kind of interesting at the end of the last year, we have a lot of, as you know, students who come who just need those credits to graduate. So historically, my teachers have had 6 block as their prep period. And we have taken 1 and we've kind of switched some things up and we've put an adulting 101 class in 6 blocks. So we're just kind of starting with our seniors. So they will get 7 classes a semester. So that allows them, if they are truly like really behind, to get potentially 14 credits in a year because of our Wednesday classes, which is that full block. The Adulting 101 is jobs, it's banking, it's college, kind of those different avenues of what it do, balancing your checkbook. The things that some of us probably needed when we were in high school is kind of just giving those kids a little extra. And then finally, actually started today, Maureen came over and took a bunch of pictures of our classes, and just talking with some community members, I don't feel that, in my experience, that everybody knows what APC is or knows, and we kind of sometimes get that, oh, you have the behavioral kids. No, we have amazing kids who just need a little bit extra love. And so we're going to put together, hopefully by the end of the semester, like a 3 to 5 minute video of just what APC is. And so we can kind of share it either with different districts, with our community members. Apex was one that was asking for it just to kind of be able to share with the people that go to their program. So it's just kind of a cool thing to share all about. Marie? Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Excellent work. Questions?
I love the name of Adulting 101. I kind of think
That
maybe,
was a Burnell thing, yeah.
you know, that's a Burnell thing, okay. Listen, I think we could use a lot of that, you know, in today's world, in today's society, and I think it's great to give kids that skill set, you know, going out there, so I'm anxious to see how that all pans out, but clever,
Kids aren't
very
as
clever.
excited. I'm hoping the kids get more excited because they're like, oh, I have a class 6 block, but it's okay. They'll get
Yeah.
through it.
My question was, you said you brought a student from out of district back. Are you talking about like a day treatment out of district placement? It's a huge savings for the district. So APC.
Well, no,
is able-
no. So,
Oh, oh, oh.
no, we have a student that is a Portland student that comes to APC.
Oh, okay, so we charge like a tuition for that?
Mhm.
Okay. Either way, it's great, good, that's exciting.
I agree with that. That is a nice opportunity.
Yeah.
Thanks for highlighting that. And thanks for all you and the team are doing.
Thank you.
Love working with those students. Michael, standing in for Paulette, I assume?
Yes, I'm standing in for Paulette. She's unable to be here tonight. So at COT, our opening days, we welcomed students from 5 different schools. You can see our numbers there. We have 533 students enrolled in COT programming. 155 are pre-tech students. 378 of those students are first and second year students with us at COT. Staff are working hard at building relationships with students and establishing their class norms. Summer project outcomes. Unfortunately, we were able to fill all of our staff positions except for one of them with a late resignation in our auto body program. So what we did is we took our auto body 1 and had to suspend it for this year, but our auto body 2 students are currently working to get them internships in our community, so that way they can get their credit and finish their programming because they already have the skills there to start that. Also this summer, students successfully completed a 6-week summer program from late June through the 1st of July. The program was sponsored by AGC, the Association of General Contractors. The students earned their OSHA 10 card, which is their basic safety, CPR card, and they developed their resumes and participated in interviews conducted by different contractors. And Mr. Adam Wilder, our welding instructor, was able to take and teach that this summer. Our goals at COT continue to be increasing off-site learning experiences through internships and job shadows for our students. We're working to solidify middle school CTE programming. And this year, one of our staff members is going to be offering an 8th grade small engine club after school down in the CTE area to take and help add some excitement to our programming. Celebrations, we took and we signed an MOU for pre-apprenticeship with Pratt Whitney, and our integrated credit is established, which is big for our students when they look at taking classes.
That's incredible. Megan?
Right, so I don't understand the numbers as well as you do. So 155 pre-tech students. Like,
Yep.
what's a pre-tech
So
student?
pre-tech are BHS students that are involved in technical programming like robotics. There is tech math. There's multiple different opportunities for them to take 1-block classes, to take and work there. Usually that's freshmen and sophomores mainly taking those.
Okay.
Could be juniors and seniors as well, but they're taking and working. We're hoping to get them into some of our COT programming.
Okay.
It's kind of like that carrot to get them to want to come join us for some of their
So it's like a
programming.
pathway to the COT.
It's a pathway to the COT, yes.
Great. And then when you say, so 378 first and second year, those are the kids that are enrolled in a COT program.
Correct.
Okay.
So some of our programming, like CNA, is a one-year programming.
Yes.
AT is a one-year program. So either a first or second year programming students, that's currently sits at 378.
So then for 9th and 10th grade students, these pre-tech classes are their way of like entering into COT
Correct.
before the programming starts.
And there are some 10th graders taking COT classes, CTE classes, but we give the priority to the grade 12 and 11 students, and then we take and we work, if we have some grade 10 students that have applied for specific programs that have openings, they have that opportunity.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay.
That pre-tech is that bridge of the, you can't sit, you know how we used to promise, so sit around and wait and you'll eventually get to the vocational center. That is that bridge that they've established there. 533 is our all-time high with all the combinations. The auto body obviously is a little bit of a disappointment, but to fill that position with a late August, I reached out to Sean Moody at Moody's Collision, and he tried to put out the word for us, and it's just not. And even next year, I think that's going to be a tough one to fill because of we were like looking at some of the pay scales for people who are doing like custom paint jobs. It's not close to what the top of our scale was.
It's tough. I mean, we had some applicants and we tried, but it was really tough to work. And Mr. A worked with us like really diligently to try to do some number crunching, and but it's a specialty area, and what they get paid in the quote-unquote real world, and what we have in education, yes, there's benefits and stuff like that, and we try to point those out, but there's also a lack of those individuals in their trade, so people try to keep them, and they can offer them bonuses and everything like that to stay. So that's a challenge for us, and we'll continue to work.
Full question. So we bring students from other districts as well. So how many other districts do we serve in the COT?
Currently, we have 5 other schools that are sending, that's including Biddeford. We have 5 schools that their students are coming to COT on a daily basis.
I do think that like one of the things when you think about vocational piece, and this has got to be a greater discussion, but like you will have like a program that maxes out quickly at 16, and then you'll have some that you like get to 14 and you hope to get there. I do think we have to have a greater conversation about like when we open that up to districts that aren't necessarily fully in our catchment area, like Amassabesic, like Gorham, who has some interest in sending kids, but you're hoping that you fill it with the group that you have, and then you get to August and be like, okay, when can we really open it up to fill those slots? And then you'll look at the fall, probably things go well in the budget, we'll look at 2 additional programs to be added that you guys approved earlier the year with the the video programming and more small engine type things. If we had a wish to consider someday, would be diesel mechanics. That would be another one, because whether you're working on boats or you're working on, it could go forever. Like we could go, I wish we had a 3rd floor. I wish we had a 3rd floor, Nope. Nope, can't, because we're right under that height limit that's in this corridor. But I think that's the piece is that, but it's also, the work that you do with the middle school programming too is really important to think about what that pathway is going to look like.
Excellent. Anything further? Okay, Michael, nice job.
Thank you.
I just want to say, and members of the committee maybe echo this, I'm so impressed. This has been, we're only a few days into the school year with the holidays and the various shifts that, it takes to get school started. And when I look at the numbers of students, we welcomed 584 kids, thinking that probably wasn't easy, as it says here, so just so appreciative of everything that you're doing and the leadership that you're showing to make our schools better every day. Really mean it. Thank you.
I just want to say ditto to what Marty just said. Thank you all for a great start. It's important to get off to a great start and to maintain that mojo and keep it going. I know it's hard at times, but thank you for everything you're doing.
You're here. That's probably a good segue to the enrollment update. Jeremy, if you want to give that.
Try to provide these enrollment updates, and as soon as I write them, they change. So if you have your pen and paper there, we have a live document that we just keep going all the time that updates every single night. And our enrollment overall number is going to be 2449 right now. The ML number is going to be 406, and there's going to be 39 pending ML numbers. So we'll just continue to keep updating that, that piece of it. You can see that I guess we kind of guessed right a little bit when we were doing the budget about K enrollment being 40 off based off those signups last spring, and we'll keep monitoring those pieces, those years where we have that great rise and then the great dip the next year makes it very tough for us to staff consistently, without having to swing teachers one way or the other. But hopefully that'll be about where it is. There'll be a little bit of an increase from last year based on our final numbers of, I think it was 2421 last year was our October 1 number. Up from 2421, that's interesting. Any questions or thoughts on the enrollment report? Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for keeping that up to date. It's great to see. Okay. Now we have a series of first readings. We'll start with item C, first reading of overnight trip, 7th grade to the ecology school.
So moved.
Second?
That's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, highlight Chad's good work to do the background on that. Thank you. And all those in favor? And that is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, item D, first reading of policy EEBA, use of multifunction school activity vehicles.
So moved.
Second?
That's moved by John, seconded by Marie. Any discussion? Lisa?
I just had a question. I don't know who could answer, maybe Chris. Like, I've had this discussion recently, strangely enough, and I thought the limit was 14 students, including the driver, as far as federal law. I don't know who I'm talking to because no one seems to be listening to me. Oh, you are? Thank you.
I'm assuming it's 15.
And maybe I'm wrong, but so, because then when it gets to the 15, then you do have to have different driving skills, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, so the capacity of the van, Lisa, is 15 total, and that includes the driver, so 14 passengers. So you're correct that
Oh, okay, so the 15 is,
inclusive of the driver. If you had 15 passengers,
if you
you'd need
have
a
one
CDL.
over that, then it's a
Right.
problem.
You'd have a
Okay,
CDL and a yellow painted vehicle.
Okay,
Yep. These are white vehicles with 14 student seats and 1 driver seat.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You bet.
Interesting. That's a good question. I didn't know the answer to that myself. Any other thoughts, comments, or discussion? Okay, all those in favor? And that is unanimous. Okay, that takes us to item E, first reading of GCQC, resignation of school unit employees.
So moved.
Second?
That's moved by John, seconded by Marie. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? And that's unanimous. That takes us to item F, first reading of KCD, public gifts and donations to the schools.
So moved.
Second?
That's moved by John, seconded by Marie. Any discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor? And that's unanimous and timely. And then The last one, item G, first reading of DJ-R, Federal Award of Conflict of Interest Policy.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by John, seconded by Marie. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? And that's unanimous. Okay, thank you. Good. That takes us to the public participation portion of our agenda. Is there anybody wishing to offer public comment this evening? Don't be bashful. Okay. Communications from the board. Michelle.
I don't know if John was just going to mention it, but we just had a Biddeford Education Foundation meeting today, and just want to remind everybody it's almost time for Pillars of Pride event, October 18th. Shelley and I have been getting a whole bunch of donations, so there's a lot of great silent auction items. Kind of figuring out how we're going to do the auction right now. If we might do something different. No? No what?
I've heard about your ask for Celtics tickets and which game that you guys.
Oh no, I didn't think anybody would do that.
The Mavericks game is not
I
available.
would pay extra for you for that, but that is not going to be, the Cooper Flag game will not be up for bid. Although it would go for a lot. But yeah, see, John, myself, Shelley, will be putting it out as well on Facebook to get tickets. If you haven't gotten them yet, $50 a ticket, 2 drink tickets you get with it. Get into the silent auction. One drink ticket this year, sorry. One
That's all
drink
it's
ticket.
ever been was one.
One drink ticket, but lots of fun. It's at the link, and it's been a blast every year, so get your tickets.
It's October 18th. Yeah. And that was neat, Michelle, seeing you and Shelley visiting a bunch of Main Street businesses and getting participation. And it sounds like a bunch of them did, so that's good. Others? Okay, I do have a few things. Thank you to everybody, including Jeremy and much of the school committee, for a great tour of JFK yesterday. That was interesting and informative, and it seemed like all the possibilities are really exciting. That is on the city council agenda for next Tuesday, and I anticipate that as a first step for a community discussion of what might be over there. So please feel free to get involved with that. This Saturday is one of the most important and popular days in Biddeford year-round. It's Household Hazardous Waste Day. So that's over at the Recycling Center, Public Works, from 8 until noon. This is your chance to get rid of those old pesticides and anything that you think might be hazardous. Bring it. I'll always highlight that if you just have paint, you can actually bring that to Sherwin-Williams anytime, and if you just have like a light bulb, you can always, or a battery, a rechargeable battery, you can also just bring that to Home Depot. You don't have to come to HHW Day, but we work hard to get you in and out fast. It's important to know, so when we're doing that on a Saturday, the normal recycling center is not open, so sometimes people are frustrated to find that out. Obviously, that's a busy day for the staff over there. We will be announcing some leaf pickup days, by the way, a little bit later, some Sundays that will be open over there. If you were stuck in traffic this morning because the train was blocking the tracks in Saco, I'm afraid they're going to do it again tomorrow, is what CSX is telling us. Starting at 9 a.m., they're doing some track maintenance. They can be kind of unpredictable in their timing. They have at least told us this time that they're going to do that over in Saco. So that kind of gums up the works everywhere. So allow a little extra time, and maybe the freeway if you're going from Biddeford to Saco. On next Tuesday's council meeting, we'll also be celebrating the University of New England cheer team. They won the national championship this year, so that will be a neat thing. If cheering is in your family or athletic participation like that, please join us for that. And the last thing is also on Saturday at Mechanics Park, there's a rally for recovery. So the recovery community will be convening on Saturday at Mechanics Park at from 11 to 2 to support those in recovery. And please feel free to join for that. Interesting and good event. I don't have anything further beyond that. Thank you, team.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Moved by John, seconded by Marie to adjourn. All those in favor? And that is unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.